Your website is your first impression, and you need to make it count. Today, I'm going to be walking you through the platform Wix. Of all the website builders that I've tried, Wix is definitely one of the better ones. It's better for beginners, and it has all the tools to help you create a stunning website. So before we get started, I highly encourage you to go down in the description below, click on the link, and follow along in real time with this tutorial. By the end of the video, you're going to have a stunning looking website, and I'm going to show you how to actually customize it, just how easy its drag and drop user interface is, as well as a few other tips and tricks you may not know, like SEO updates. Because what's the point of having a good website if nobody sees it? So with that being said, let's jump right into it. This is an example of one of the stunning websites that you can create using Wix. It's very simple to build and requires no coding whatsoever. And before we jump into things here, I just want to show you a little bit of the pricing that they have, because if you want to actually use Wix for yourself, it is free and you can choose a plan when you're ready. But for the actual paid plan, like Lite, Core, Business, and Business Elite, a lot of people don't really know what exactly the difference is between them and which one they should start off with. Personally, I would say that for most people, if you just have never built a website before and you just want to get a website online, Lite is definitely the one to go with. It gives you the basics, you get free domain for a year, 2 gigabytes of storage, and if you just want to get a website online that has something that's yours, maybe it's a personal website or just a website for your business, that's going to be everything you need. When you want to go and be a bigger website, bigger business, a bigger personal brand, whatever it may be, Core is definitely going to be what gives you a better idea here. This gives you a lot more storage space, multi-cloud hosting, and a basic marketing suite, as well as basic e-commerce, which is great if you want to actually sell things online in a very limited capacity here. Now, if you're an actual business trying to do this, the business is going to be the one that's best for you. And if you're making so much money that you don't know what to do with it, Business Elite is going to be the one that allows you to scale that. If you have thousands of visitors to your website every single day, week, or month, or year, or if you just have thousands of people coming to your website, this is going to be the one to go with for you. You'll know that. But the nice part about all of that is that we can actually just start absolutely for free. So, as always, before I actually jump into it, I do recommend you, again, to follow along in real time. You can either go down in the description below or go to digit.com/Wix and automatically get into this, follow along in real time, and I'll just show you how to build this website. You can build it in real time with me, and we can make something that looks great. So, if you've done that, right, let's jump into it. Okay, so all I gotta hit here is this start for free button, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sign in. All right, when you're ready to go, it's gonna jump right in here and say, who are you creating a website for? Now, don't worry if you aren't sure exactly who you're creating a website for yet. You can go back and change all of these things. This just helps curate the process of actually getting the website up and running. So in this case, I'm gonna say for myself, my business, or a friend. I'll hit continue here. Now, if it brings you to the screen here that says, bring your ideas to life with AI, AI chat is actually an option you can use to get your website up and running. You can hit the start chat button, just begin chatting with the chatbot, and have it automatically go and set up your website for you by itself, pretty much. In our case, we're not going to be doing that. We're just going to say setup without chat, but there's really no difference here. It just depends on how exactly you want to set it up by picking the template and manually customizing it, or just telling everything you want to do to AI and having it done for you. Next, it's going to say, what type of website do you want to create? In my case, I'm just going to say, let's pick one. Let's say technology company. I like that. And yeah, we could just say technology company and hit continue here. And then it's going to say automatically that it's preparing our dashboard and loading our dashboard. And when you drop into the dashboard here, it's going to say, what would you like to call your website? The first thing we should call our website. In my case, I'll call it Josh Digget website. And then it'll ask you a few more questions that is just going to give you a little bit more personalization when it comes to actually getting your website set up. What do we do? Sell products, collect leads, share knowledge, build a community, etc. And depending on what you select here, this will give you more options later on to actually add things onto your site based on what it thinks your website is for. In my case, I'm just going to say, I'm going to skip this, and it'll ask me if there's any apps I'd like to add. You can automatically add Wix apps directly on your website, such as an online store, bookings, events, or give your site more functionality with things like chat, Instagram feed, videos, file shares, all these other things that you have access to. I'll hit skip again. But from there, you're all set. All right, now that we're on the dashboard here, there's going to be a few things that I'm going to want to go over just to give you the best experience on Wix. Now, we're not actually going to go over anything in the left menu right off the bat. The first thing we want to do is actually pick a template for our website. All of the other stuff is going to come in handy much later, but for right now, we want to pick a template that's going to be great for our website. And we just need to go to this button here that says Design Site, click on it, and it'll ask us how we would like to design our website. Again, in this case, you could use AI if you want to, but I'm just going to pick a template. So if I hit pick a template here, we can see all of the different templates that are automatically available for us, along with some that it's matched to us. So in this case, I have a coming soon landing page, a home goods store, photography, accessories. In my case, I'm going to pick a template here that I like by going to creative. And as you can see here, all the different options that are available to us. In my case, I'll just scroll through one of these ones here. The Power of Good Advice BizBud. I like that one. And if we want to actually see if that may be a fit for us, we can just hit this button here that says View, and we can see exactly what it would look like on both mobile and desktop. So on desktop, we can see that this is automatically how it's set up. I really like those animations here and use it as a starting point. And if we check this button here at the top, it looks like a phone. We can see exactly how it looks on mobile. And okay, let's say we're ready to go. Let's say that we like that template and we want to make it our own. All we have to do is hit this button in the top right-hand corner that says Edit this site, and there we go. And once you hit that button in the top right-hand corner that says Edit this site, you will be taken to the Wix Designer. Now, this is where we can actually begin creating our website. Now, one of the greatest things about Wix is how easy it is for someone who has absolutely no coding experience whatsoever. It's also asking me to enhance the site with my AI content. I'm not going to do that just yet. And as we can see here on the left-hand side, these are all the things that are used in the Wix Designer as a simple drag and drop to design our website. We have the ability to add elements here with this plus icon, add sections, adjust our pages and menu, see our site design, add apps, check out our business, our media, and our CMS. Now, in this case, we're going to go over each of these individually, but let me just show you exactly how you can edit the website. Let's say I wanted to make this header a little bit lower. Well, I can just double click, zoom in here, and as we can see, I can see all of the different elements of the site. I can see the text, which I can literally just move around. I can see more text, and the button, I can make it bigger if I want to. And one of the fun parts about this is that you can literally just drag things around and customize it to be exactly the way that you want. For pretty much anything that you can have on Wix that's an element, you can click it, you can make it bigger, you can adjust the design. And if I click on this button here, you can see there's things that pop up such as change text, layout, design, animated, etc. If I want to give it a different entrance animation instead of the float up that it normally has right now where it kind of comes into view, I could say wink, for example, or arc. Different things that give my site more of a personality. In the reveal here, shape or glide. I like glide. We'll have it coming from the side here. And you can do that with virtually anything. Just click on it and you have all the options available right here. So I could change this to, if I just want to edit this text here, I can see that I have access to my styles, my fonts, my font sizes. So if I want to make this font bigger or smaller, I can do that. And I have the ability to make it bold, italicized, etc. The easiest part about Wix is the fact that pretty much any element that you click on, you will get an option to customize. So if I even want to customize this in the top right-hand corner, if I go and I click on it, it's going to ask me if I want to pin it to the top left-hand corner of the screen, make it in the middle, top right, or if I want to actually edit the text. So I can go and edit the text here and I'll say, Josh Diggett website. And then we could also choose to extend it if we want to, if it doesn't all fit. And we can adjust the font here. And we'll make it Times New Roman. And then if we want to adjust our menu, again, we can just click on this and automatically anything that we click on, it's going to open a side menu. And as we can see here, these are all of our pages: home, services, about, testimonials, clients, contact. If we want to add a page, we can just hit this button here that says add page. Or if we want to use another page as a starting point, all we have to do is hit the three dots beside a page and click it. And we can see the things like the settings, SEO basics, social share, page background, but the most important ones: rename, duplicate, and copy. So say I design the home page and it looks amazing and I love it, and I want to make another page that looks just like it, but maybe it's my about page, or maybe it's on my services page. All I have to do here is hit this button and then hit duplicate, and boom, it'll automatically create a copy here that I can rename to whatever I want. So I could say about me, even though we already have an about page here. And as far as the drag and drop goes, all we have to do is go over to the first section over here that says add elements. We can click on it, and then we have every element that we possibly could put on our website, from text, images, menu and anchors, galleries, etc. And if I want to put anything on here, all I have to do is just find something I want to put on. And let's say, a social media icon, such as the Instagram logo, and I can just click on it to put it directly on the website. Or I can literally just drag and drop. And you can see here, boom, I've got my social bar in the menu here, and now I can set social links. So let's say I don't want Twitter, I don't want TikTok, I don't want LinkedIn, I just want Facebook and YouTube. There we go. We're good to go. We've got our icons. I can just go down here and hit done, and boom, we've adjusted our social media icons accordingly. Now, you would actually have to connect them to a social account so people know where to go when they get redirected, but you can see just how easy it is. If I want to scroll through here, it's as simple to add another section as clicking on the Add Section button, and it'll ask you if you want a design section, AI section that's generated, or just simply add elements from a blank slate. If I hit design section here, we can actually see that under the sections tab, there are a bunch of pre-built templates already set up for us. So instead of having to design it, you can just simply drag and drop a section in and customize it. If it's about the team, for instance, I could click on this and add our team, or just drag and drop it and put it in that section. And now, boom, I've got a new section that's called our team that I could just go edit by simply clicking and editing. In addition to this, if you want to delete anything, just right click on it and you have all of your options here, including delete. But I don't actually want to delete that, so I'm just gonna undo that real quick, but you get the idea. At this point, you now know how to add, delete, and customize the elements on your pages to design them exactly the way you want them, including adding new pages with new sections or duplicating from existing ones. But how would you exactly adjust the color scheme on this page, for instance? Let's say purple isn't your color. Well, it's as simple as navigating over to the left-hand side here, hitting Site Design, and you can actually change your theme. Change exactly how it looks from energetic to retro vibrant to dynamic, and we can just go pick one. Oh, I don't like the color of those buttons. Let's try bohemian. Yeah, okay, or maybe mature. Ooh, I like that. I like it. That dark purple looks good. And let's say you want a custom color theme. It's as simple as going to the customize your site design, again, just under the side menu here where it says site design, and clicking on color theme. If I click on it, I can see I can adjust my base colors, my accent colors, and more. And if I hit this purple here, let's say I want it to be a little bit darker, we'll go like a little bit darker purple. You can see that it's actually going to update on my website in real time as I adjust. So let's say I make it a bit brighter, it adjusts as I do. So it's as simple as that. The next few sections on the left side here are pretty straightforward. The Add App section actually allows you to connect to the app market for Wix, where there are tons of third-party integrations you can automatically put in, such as more social media icons, apps that allow you to sell online. And believe me, there are a ton of apps that allow you to sell online. Things for marketing, search engine optimization, email, more. Feel free to go through this and figure out exactly what type of things you want your website to do. I guarantee you there's going to be some free Wix apps here that will allow you to do just that. And there are a few paid ones as well. Now, at any point throughout this process, if you actually want to see how your website might look on another device, all you have to do is navigate over to this little icon over here that simply looks like a phone, click on it, and you can see exactly what your website looks like on a mobile device. As we saw just a moment ago, on the desktop, the social media icons for Instagram and YouTube looked great. And now they don't look as great. They're overlapping with a bunch of materials. And as we can see here, there's a few things that we need to adjust. But luckily, Wix actually allows me to do this step by step. We can customize our header. Do we want it to be fixed? Do we want it to fade out when somebody scrolls? Or do we want it to disappear entirely? Let's say we want it to disappear entirely. We can click that and hit next. Where do we want our quick actions? On the bottom or no action bar? Do we want a back to top feature? Always. And we can actually watch a video to see exactly what else we can do. But there we go. We now have the mobile editor, which allows us to customize the website and make it work for us on mobile. Wix's tools really allow you to customize things on any platform, which is one of the reasons why I recommend it so highly, because it's super beginner friendly. A few more things just to go over on the left-hand side under My Business. This is where you can add things like your old Wix forms and payment, Wix chat, and finding other apps. It's not really useful for most of the modern stuff, but it's still nice to know about. The media tab here allows you to simply upload your photos, images, and edit them directly within Wix. Or if you don't have any, you can just use the free Wix images that are already available to you. Something we're not going to get into today, but is also worth mentioning, is the CMS, which allows you to easily manage your site content, such as setting up content collections, creating hundreds of dynamic pages, and collecting info from site visitors. But we won't get too far into that today, because we're just going over the beginners. Now, at this point, you know exactly how to do everything from adding elements, adding new sections, and going over all of the different things on the side here to actually make Wix the best it can be for you to design an amazing looking website, including on both mobile and desktop. Now, let's get into a few hidden details that a lot of website tutorials don't go over. If we navigate to the section in the top here that says settings, you're going to see here all of the different steps that are very, very important for making sure that your website, one, ranks well on Google, but two, is also just as friendly as it can possibly be. And I recommend you going through each of these step by step to set them up. The first one is the SEO setup. Now, the SEO setup will actually navigate you back into the main page of Wix, and this is what's going to actually allow your website to get found on Google much easier. You're going to put in some details like what's the name of this business or brand, what do you do, etc. And Wix is actually going to give you a full checklist that you can go through step by step to make sure that your search engine optimized website is, well, as search engine optimized as physically possible, so that when people actually search for your website, they find your website. The next thing here is making sure that your favicon or fav icon is set up correctly. If you've ever wondered what that is, it's the little icon in a tab that is next to the website's name. You know, when you look at a website or look at a tab in your web browser and think to yourself, how do they get that little icon or little logo there? Well, that's exactly what the favicon or favicon is. And if we go to the settings here, we can see that we can add our icon to look professional with a branded icon next to your page title in your browser. Very important. A couple more things here that also help your website are things like your business info, your social media sharing, so that when people actually click on the Instagram and YouTube icon here, they get redirected properly. This is where you would set that up. And add the image and info you want to show when your site is shared on social media networks. You also have your marketing integrations like Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, if you know what that is, your roles and permissions, if you're having multiple people work on the site at the same time, making sure that nobody can do anything they're not supposed to, things like your site password, making sure that before your site is ready, people can't get into it, the accessibility wizard, making your site more accessible for people who are colorblind, people who have vision impairment, those sort of things. As I showed earlier, making sure that your website is mobile friendly, as well as having image sharpening for anything that doesn't look as right as it should on your website. Things like privacy, cookies. You know when there's that little box that pops up that asks you if you want to accept all cookies? This is exactly where you're going to be setting that up. And finally, an error page. When someone types the name of your website into their browser, but it's the wrong page name or wrong page link, or it just doesn't go to the right spot, what are they going to see when your website doesn't know what to return? That is all here. All of these things set up is going to mean that Google is going to rank your site higher and your website is just going to be more well-rounded for a better experience overall. Now at this point, you know how to design a great looking website. You know how to adjust it, create sections based on templates or just based on your own personal designs, and pick a template and customize it that is absolutely immaculate for you, as well as a few tips and tricks that will help your website rank higher in Google and just be overall a better user experience for the people viewing your website. I'm just going to go over a few of the higher level things just before we finish this off. As you can see here, if you are starting off with e-commerce, automatically from the homepage you can see the Getting Paid tab, where you can actually connect and set up whatever you're getting paid through if people are making payments through your website. You can see things like your sales, how much you've sold, as well as any other apps in the app market that we talked about earlier. If you click on the site and mobile app, we can get back to our designer here. We can see things like the inbox, anything that somebody sent us, things like customers and leads, any form submissions that people have done. If you have a form on your website that people fill out, this is where that information is going to go. We have things like marketing, Google Ads, and other things that would make your website more well-known so that more people visit your website. We have our analytics, seeing exactly who's visiting your website, how they're visiting, what platform they're visiting through, everything that you need to understand who is coming to your website for whatever purposes you may need that information for. And finally, automations, which is, as it sounds, get an email when a form is submitted, send 2 reminders a week if an invoice is overdue, set up automations that make it so that your website is working for you, not so that you're working for it. If you want to see what your website will look like when it's live without all of the editing here, all you have to do is go to the top right hand corner of the screen and hit preview, and you can see exactly what your website will look like when it goes live. And if you're ready to make it go live, go and hit this publish button here and the world will be able to see it. And with that, if you followed along step by step, you now know, or at least I hope have built an amazing looking website. And if you didn't, go back, rewatch this video, follow it step by step, and you will, along with me, create an awesome looking website with no coding experience at all. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, my name is Josh Mountain. I can't wait to see what you create. See you in the next one.